Any body swap comedies, from like Vice Versa to Freaky Friday to Why, hello there YouTube and welcome back to 31. So we're on day 19 now and we're on day 3 of Teen Week, and today I am reviewing the film Freaky. So Freaky is a 2020 slasher comedy which is also, another spin on the body swap genre of films. So in this one, there's this small town named Blissfield, which is, under the, threat of a serial killer known as the Blissfield Butcher, played by Vince Vaughn, who kills teenagers in classic cliche styles. I don't need to tell you all about them cliches because you should know them all if you're a horror lover. Anyway, he then goes to this rich house and kills some teenagers and then finds an old Aztec relic that is a blade, unaware that once it mixes with the blood of two, they switch bodies. He then comes across this attempted victim named Millie, played by Kathryn Newton, and he tries to kill her, but in the incident he manages to make her bleed and he also bleeds and their bloods intertwine and they switch bodies. And then basically Vince Vaughn is then playing a teenage girl and Kathryn Newton is playing the Blissfield Butcher, a 40-odd year old, a middle-aged man that is a serial killer and basically uses her appearance to his advantage, and basically he's happy being a teenage girl. And of course we have some hilarious comedy from Vince Vaughn playing a teenager. So that's pretty much the story, and they've got 24 hours to undo the ritual before it's permanent. But well, let's just say this film, like every body swap film, they do find a way back. And yeah, they do get switched places back. So anyway, what did I like about this? Well, I like that it was a slasher. I like that they did the body swap thing in a slasher film. I mean, I've seen many body swap comedies, from like Vice Versa to Freaky Friday to, to The Change Up, to even sitcoms doing their own episodes of the body swap thing. So I like that they put it into a slasher film. I also like Vince Vaughn's performance after he switches the bodies and is no longer the Blissfield Butcher. He is basically, a teenage girl in his body, and he does some, with Vince Vaughn being a comedic actor, he does some good physical comedy and is pretty funny in this, and I liked his performance in it, especially with him, hanging with, his friends, but Millie's friends, having teenage dilemmas and what have you, and yeah, I thought it was funny. And Kathryn Newton, how she went from playing a teenage girl to playing the serial killer. She had like a sinister vibe on her and was evil and twisted. it has some good visual effects in there, especially the whole, like when they were doing the whole stabbing scene with the Aztec pyramid appearing out of nowhere, like when the ritual was being done. I thought that was some good visuals there. I thought this was a funny film, and this, I believe, came out during the pandemic in 2020, so the cinematic release wasn't that good for it, but I believe it became available for streaming. This is a Blumhouse production as well, and Blumhouse do some mostly good horrors. I mean, they do have a few downers and that, but, you know, a majority of their films are quite good, and this is one of the good ones. I mean, it is by far not a perfect horror film, but it's alright. It got my attention with Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn, bringing me into it, thinking, okay, this should be a laugh. Vince Vaughn, he's a funny guy. He's done a lot of comedies, and yeah, he did deliver on the funnies. And we had some funny teen comedy moments in there too. I would say that this is a lot. This is like probably 60% comedy, 40% slasher. It still has the horrors in there, the horror elements. I mean, when Vince Vaughn manages, when they switch back in the end, and Vince Vaughn is again, the Blissfield Butcher. I don't think I think his performance was a bit, but he managed to change the character and become evil again. But he didn't feel like the typical Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees kind of killer. Even the mask he wore as well. I thought the look of the Blissfield Butcher was a bit naff. I weren't too keen on the mask or anything. I thought, okay, maybe he looks like he's a wannabe killer, like a wannabe Jason and that. But again, this again was a comedy, so it wasn't a serious film. So, I guess there are some negatives there about it, but it's still a good one. It's a decent one, and I do recommend it if you like Vince Vaughn films, and if you got about, how long is it on for, 90 minutes or something? If you got about an hour and a half or something to spare, then yeah, check it out. It's a good one. So what am I going to rate this one? You know what, I'll give it, it's watchable. I'll give it 3 stabs out of 5. So it's not a bad film by any means. It's just not mega brilliant. So, 3 stabs out of 5 for, Freaky. So there you go. There's my review today, and there's your daily fix of 31. So, join me tomorrow where I'll be reviewing a classic teen horror. And yeah, so be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe. Have you seen this film? What do you think to it? Be sure to do all that. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, and until next time, don't have nightmares.